we made it really livable. I mean, we got a big screen TV in there, Xbox, and so it's pretty fun.
Dude, what else you need? A shitter and an Xbox and a refrigerator, right?
Yep.
And a grill. Well, you gotta have a grill.
Oh yeah, we eat really well up there.
Well, there's a little bit of a taste of catching up with an old buddy of mine and what this episode is about. But before we get into all of that, I got a handful of things I want to throw your way. This is one of two different types of episodes I have within the show. It's about 90 minutes long. Got a guest on or two. Today, Tom and I get into reminiscing and where we are now. A lot of fun. On opposite weeks, I have Dome Dump. It's just me, this microphone, whatever's rattling around in my dome. No notes, no mercy. Everything you want to know about the show is on the old website. Everything. Where you can listen, blogs, merch, all sorts of good stuff. Get a hold of me, whatever it is. BRockPodcast.com. And I'm a one-man band here. Everything you see going on, I do. All right, I get a little help with apps and stuff. Of course, everything I got going on, I do. And I'm asking for a little help here. Whatever platform you're on, especially YouTube, I am 15 subscribers away from getting to 1,000. And after 1,000, I start getting paid, which would be cool. So jump over, YouTube, BRawPodcast.com. Link is in the show notes. And help a brother out, all right? And, of course, if you love what I got going on here, tell a friend or 7. And I'm not going to go any further without giving a shout-out for the couple brands that have been riding with me from day one. And both these companies are a staple at the HQ here. First up, Craig over at High Speed Daddy. I love the gear, backpack. That thing's been a workhorse for the last 4 years with our son and all the adventures we go on. Check it out. Got all sorts of great stuff. Even if you're not a parent, just stuff for an active lifestyle. And then you got the crew down at Live Rishi in Arizona. The Rishi rub is a staple in my gym bag. And here at the house, and the tincture is just amazing stuff. All right, jump over. Use the code TABLE50, and you're going to get 50% off your entire order. And that's on Live Rishi, not High Speed Daddy. But check these guys out. I love supporting local business, small business. Both these guys are hard at it. Link is in the show notes again. Check them out. Give them shit for me when you get over there. All right, time to get on to this show. I got hooked up with my buddy Tom. I tracked him down because we had a lot of fun back in the day in the old bar scene, of course. Stories galore, you can imagine. And then our lifestyles kind of took the same turns as they normally do. We're both raising families now and following our passions. And speaking of passion, Tom hunts gold. And it's crazy what he does, but as always, I'm going to let him tell you all about it. Let's get to it. Well, I have a 4-year-old as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we talk about the swearing thing, you know? And I tell him, well, I ask him one thing every day, and I tell him one thing every day. When I pick him up from school, I said, did you listen to your mother? You know, because you got to listen to mom, dude, you know? And then I say, kindness is a superpower. Kindness, your manners, and a good work ethic will get you fucking anything you want in this world. Right? But every once in a while, you got to let a motherfucker know. And he's like, Dad, what's a motherfucker? Oh, shit. Nah, fuck. I'll explain to you that later. Just
my son actually gets on to me about swearing, me and my wife about swearing. He's like, you said a bad word. And, you know, he's not at that point. He's 4, so he's not repeating everything that he hears. But my 13-year-old daughter is a different story. She won't swear around me, but we went through her phone one time. And, the words. And she got some girls blacklisted from hanging out with because they were saying very sexually explicit things to her. And it was a anonymous app where you couldn't tell who was sending it. So I thought it was like boys at her school sending this stuff, and turned out to be her girlfriends. And I was like, listen, you guys cannot talk to each other that way. Especially like, if you're talking to, your friend at school or at a sleepover, that's one thing, but you're documenting this now. Like this is all documented. So
yeah. Well, that's what's great about the shit we used to do, dude. There was no documentation.
Oh, I couldn't get away with anything this day and age.
Oh,
like I always used to say, if I lived in the 1800s, I'd be a bank robber because nobody'd ever catch me. And it's just like technology is just cracking down on anything you can get away with these days. So,
well, we were talking about. God, what the hell time frame? I was talking to somebody. I was like, man, I would have thrived in that time. Oh, like the 20s or something. Oh, goddamn, dude, I would have been all. Oh, bro, you. But for people listening, we spent some time together. Long time ago at this point, right?
over a decade ago, we were working at Copperhead.
Yeah, damn, dude. We could go on for 3 days about stories of that fucking joint.
That was a fun time. I've met both the mothers of my children there.
Oh, no shit.
Oh yeah.
Is that who you're with now? Who are you with now?
Trish, she used to bartend at Copperhead.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
shit.
we're married. And then the mother of my child was a nice girl I met from there. About halfway through my tour of Copperhead.
I like tour. Hey man, did you hear about Javi?
Oh no. Did he pass? That close?
Both double kidney and liver failure.
Oof.
He's in the Denver hospital. And he was for like 2 months, and now he's in like a Ronald McDonald style house.
Yeah.
And he's in dialysis 3 days a week. He's on a list to get transplants, but
man, that's too bad. Javi was a great guy. I met him and you right about the same time. You guys were both working the door at Copperhead Road when I started.
Yeah. No, Javi's a good dude, man. He went down some roads though. He's good. He's got a heart as big as this fucking building I'm in.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know if you heard about that since you being out in Colorado. Yeah, he's up in Denver. I hope he pulls through with that,
We'll have to go. Trish and I will have to go visit him. We just lost a friend from Copperhead Road as well. His name is Chris Poole. Really into the EDM scene, the DJ scene. He was always in there with Trish, visiting Trish and a bunch of other people in that scene. That's how I met him. He's a veteran as well, but he just passed. Just poor health. That's one of the. I lose a couple of vets that I was in a unit with, either to suicide or organ failure, a year. And it's kind of forced me to slow down. I had heart surgery 2 years ago.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah, not open heart or anything. They went up through a vein in my leg and cauterized some stuff. And
I had the same thing. I had the same thing in 2016.
Subventricular tachycardia or something.
It was AFib and A-flutter, but it was like a really severe case.
Yeah, and alcohol, and no more hookers and cocaine for me. But I just had to cut back on the alcohol. No more drinking a bottle of Jameson a night, and only feeling hungover in the morning. So I'm just down to, I'll go grab a couple of tall boys and maybe a couple of shooters, and that's my limit.
Yeah, I've been sober over 7 years now.
Ouch. No, I'm sure it's great, but
no, I mean smoke a little pot once in a while, but other than that.
Yeah.
Nothing, dude. Been with my wife for just over a decade, and our first date was the last time I did coke.
Oh,
because I came off of my divorce and I went on a bender, dude. A bender. I gained like 70 pounds. I was in bad shape, dude. I was in bad shape. And my wife I met her and she never said anything, but I was like, I like this woman. I need to go down. I need to straighten up here a little bit. So, and then 2016 as well, I was paralyzed from the waist down.
What?
Yeah.
From a car accident, truck accident? What's going on?
Hard living.
Dang.
Yeah. Dang. And then I got surgery. So there's a carbon fiber piece in my back. And I've been going full throttle since, man. Made a full recovery. This morning in the gym, my workout was basically overhead presses and deadlifts for reps. And then I ran 3.5 miles.
Dang. Yeah. I don't have any cartilage left in my knees from being in the Army. Otherwise, I miss jogging. I miss running. I miss the gym. But, I live a pretty active lifestyle, having kids, throwing kids around. And then I was working on a gold mine. It was my last job I had.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, so I was working up in Idaho Springs at a gold mine, and man, that's tough work, man. I'm 90% disabled through the VA, just between my back, my knees, so I was in more of an administrative role, which turned in, we had very few employees, so it turned out me pulling turning a shovel, or I was, in an excavator or a loader most part of the day, feeding the mill, crunching down rock, feeding the mill, which turns it into a slurry, and then it hits a centrifuge concentrator where it picks up the heavies and the light stuff floats off. So that's what I was doing, is managing safety for the entire site and making sure our production was somewhat online. So went from that to I quit that, and with a friend of mine, we decided to start an environmental cleanup company, which also it focuses on gold tailings, cleaning up mine waste.
Okay.
Really toxic. I mean,
you pull out of the ground, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, that stuff's from 1,000, 2,000 foot deep. A lot of it's radioactive. You have a lot of acid wash off with the rain. So plant life isn't doing too good. You have arsenic. Depending on how the old timers were processing it, you have mercury in it as well. So really toxic stuff. And it's, just right next to some of our waterways. So we're kind of cleaning some of that up and recycling it and keeping the lights on by getting the gold and silver content out of that. So
okay, so you're still doing that now?
Yep. It's still kind of early on into what we're doing. We've had a couple contracts that went really well. Our first deal was an international deal. We sent everything to Canada to get smelted down, and it's a little lackluster because when I got into this, I'm like, I'm gonna have gold bars, I'm gonna make my own gold coins and stuff and bling, and man, you don't see any of it. Like all the stuff we deal with is microscopic and encased in something usually, and then by the time it gets to the smelter, they're just mailing you a check, which is good too. But
I was gonna say that's not a bad thing.
I know.
Now, so is it the company? So you got a mine, a company took all the shit out of it, dumped all the bad stuff on the ground. You take that and work through it. Now, is it the mine that did that pays you, or is it another company that?
No, we're a really small 3-man operation. It's just us 3 owners. We're trying to do it with no overhead. We've watched countless people and sink millions and millions of dollars into a mine, the permitting for putting like a reclamation site on. And Colorado is really green state, and they don't like it because what do you do? 'Cause even we have waste. So, we're dealing with mine waste from the 1800s. The older, the better, because the older it is, the less gold they could get out of it. Just because of technology, usually.
So there's more. The older it is, there's more gold in it.
Correct.
For you to get out. Oh, okay, cool.
For the most part.
Yeah.
And you got to follow strike lines. Like, man, like we've been geotagging all these different piles and mines and stuff, and we'll take samples, and then on our map we'll put like this one is 2 grams per ton per pile, but this one's 10 grams per ton per pile. Like gold star that one. Yeah. And let's contact the whoever owns the rest of that pile to like, hey, can we get this off your property? We pay on a percentage on like how much gold's in there. And it's usually not a mine that owns it. It's a private citizen that owns it, that bought property, or it's like come down for generations and generations. Right. And some people don't even know they own it. So we've been reaching out to people and saying, hey, if you're not doing anything with that property, we'd love to clean it up for you. We'll pay you a percentage of what's in there. And then when we're done, you couldn't build a house there before because you had a giant pile of, mine tailings from the 1800s.
Right.
And now you can build whatever you want on it. You pull a fifth wheel on it, and that's your little vacation area or what have you. So.
And then so the owner would get a percentage. Is there another company somewhere that buys that from you? Like, how do you get that to where they get the gold out? basically?
Well, it's a couple stage process, and we've got a couple NDA signed, so I can't go too far into the actual stages yet. But it's multiple stages of refining down to gold and silver, and it goes into what I explained, what I did earlier at the mill and mine I worked at, and then once it's refined down to a certain grade where it's going to be gold, silver, lead, all the heavies, all in one concentrated batch. And then we send that somewhere, and they'll usually use heating techniques to different temperatures, melting points to filter out different types of metal. So It's a little time consuming, but everybody gets their piece, and doing it like we do with no overhead, there's a little bit more to pay out, but we didn't have to buy property. We don't have to have mine inspections, because technically what we're doing isn't even mining, it's reclamation. And at that point, all of our waste is not staying in state. All of our product is leaving state, so Colorado doesn't have to worry about this toxic stuff staying in state.
They got to like that.
Well, it's not flying under the radar, but it's what they want. That's the problem a lot of people are having with this type of operation is, what do you do with the toxic remnants? When I was working for some other people, it was like, well, let's get it into the, landscaping. Landscaping sand's expensive. When I was doing that, we could sell it as landscaping sand, because that's essentially, it comes out like sand.
Oh, okay.
And, but the arsenic, mercury, acid levels are so high in it.
The roses probably wouldn't do very well in it. Is that what you're saying?
Nothing grows in this stuff. Like, there's some trees, some evergreen trees you see, but those are like the short bust trees. They're, just a little mangled, and they're just not doing too good. So that's part of what we do too, is we have to come up with a plan for how that land is going to look afterwards. If we're going to plant natural grasses on it, I was in cannabis for over a decade here in Colorado, growing and whatnot. And so what do I have to amend that soil with to sustain plant life again, which is usually like a limestone, based product to help change the pH to where the plants can absorb water and stuff like that again.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
But so my wife's took a part-time job working at a dental clinic as a receptionist, and she absolutely loves it. Getting out of the house, working again, that's not in a bar.
Oh God, isn't that the best?
Yeah, and it leaves me time on the weekends to get up in the mountains, collect samples, get stuff to the lab, go talk to property owners, take them out to lunch, go check out their property, see what kind of infrastructure they have, how close they are to a road. Do I got to get a dozer in there to make a new road to even get up to their piles? And
no shit.
So I'm usually up, and this week, and I'm headed Memorial Day week, and I'm headed up to the mountain with one of my partners. We're probably going to do a majority of shooting and beer drinking, but there's always work to be done up there and new stuff to check out.
Well, you got to have like 10-12% work doing so you can write it off.
Yeah.
Why are you writing off 550 rounds of ammunition? What Security. The hell are you guys doing?
Security. We got Bigfoot up there, man.
So you're still in the Springs, and then you travel pretty much anywhere in the state?
Yeah, we're focusing right around Idaho Springs. That's kind of where we worked, and we're staying on this really old gold mine when we go up there. It's a gentleman I won't name, but he was actually our first contract to clean up some like pretty toxic stuff at one of his yards, and we just it was all in barrels. We took samples out of everything to make sure that we knew that what was in it, so we could label it properly. Pretty much redo the barrels that they're in because they're rotting away. This stuff was so acidic. Ooh. and put the proper labeling on it, strap into pallets, and get a semi in here and send it to Canada. So anyways, but we're staying up at one of his gold mines, and I was actually there for like 2 years, and we're kind of caretakers up there, and it's a hoist house. I don't know if you're familiar with gold mines, but it's a house with a giant like fishing reel in it with that holds steel cable about that big. And then from the house, it goes out up to an A-frame. And then from the A-frame, the cable goes down into the mine. And that's how they lower the carts, lower miners down into it.
So you're staying in the hoist house?
Yeah, it's so much fun up there. We put a water tanks in there, water pump, water heater, shower. We have a full kitchen now. The only bad, we have an outhouse. There's no toilet, but we made it really livable. I mean, we got a big screen TV in there, Xbox, and so it's pretty fun.
Dude, what else you need? A shitter and an Xbox and a refrigerator, right?
Yep.
And a grill. Well, you gotta have a grill.
Oh yeah, we eat really well up there. My partner and I that run it are pretty good cooks. So
now, do you hunt it all while you're up there, or no?
I didn't. There is good hunting up there. We are going to this year. People get touchy with their properties up there, so you got to be really respectful. It's people are like, oh, it's not all crazy people on the mountain. Well, it's crazy people on the mountain, and I'm one of them. They think the same thing about me. So you got to be careful where you hunt. You got to be really cognizant of property lines, and that goes with my project that I'm doing too. People still shoot people up there over crossing property lines. Kind of unrelated, but our barber that we had that was up in that area just went down for murder one, man. Just like a mile away from where we were staying on the mountain. He was up trying to buy some Doberman puppies or something, and ended up murking this dude. Took all the puppies, and we're trying to sell them around, try to sell it to one of our friends in town. But this guy was like coked out. He was a dealer. He was always up there trying to sell shit all the time. I'm like, dude, I just want a fucking haircut, man. I'm like, I had heart surgery. I can't do that shit anymore.
Just cut my bangs, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah. So it's a crazy mountain, man. And everyone's got guns. I've said for a long time, people in Colorado are all a little bit crazy. And the higher the altitude you go, the crazier they get. I mean, it comes down to biology, how the human brain operates with less oxygen over a longer amount of time.
I was going to say the oxygen levels, obviously less and less. And you do that over years and years. Yep. Something's going to give, dude.
Yep. There was one of my neighbors up there she almost made it to 100 years old. She was 99 before she passed. And I don't think she left there for the last 15 years.
Oh,
I think doctors came up and visited her, and they wouldn't get her out of there. So it's a strange, fun breed that lives up on gold mining mountains that are still trying to operate claims and figure all that stuff out.
Yeah, that's like you said, that's just a special breed, different breed. That's all.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong. Well, there might be something wrong with them, but there's nothing wrong with them. They're just different.
Hey man, this is America. You're supposed to be as free as you can be. And I think freedom in this country is a little bit of a joke because we plaster on everything. And I sure don't feel here. When I was in Iraq, we sponsored an Iraqi interpreter to come back. He was one of the good ones. He saved our ass so many times. He wanted to get out of there because he was gay and he wanted to be openly gay. And so we got Saeed back here, and he got here. He's like, what the fuck, man? I thought you guys said this was a free country. Like Iraq's more free than this.
No shit.
I was like, damn. I know what you mean, man. Like I see what you're saying.
No, I totally get it. I mean, it's kind of an illusion. Well, it is an illusion. Yeah.
But up there, people are just trying to live as free as they can. I can't tell you how many times I'd walk out in the morning having a cup of coffee, and my drunk neighbor, it's like 9 a.m, and he's shithouse still, naked, hitting in the side of his fifth wheel with a baseball bat, and it's fun.
I was just gonna say, see, that's my kind of thing. Long as I'm kind of on the straight edge of that, on the straight narrow, watching that stuff, you're just like, well, that's cool, dude. All right. Hey, whatever, dude. And I don't judge unless you're hurting kids. I don't give a fuck what you're doing, dude.
Yeah. As long as it's consensual and you're not hurting anybody.
Right. And it's just like, okay, you do that with your old lady and you both like it, whatever that is, right? You just go, oh, okay. I mean, I don't judge you. All right. I guess that's what trips your trigger. Because we saw some shit back in the day. Sorry, bud. I saw.
We're at Copperhead.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was man. It'd be like if they opened a bar in Guantanamo, like, like it's just. I mean, you have the most hardcore, violent people of every society and racial group congregating there, and for the most part, getting along.
I was just gonna say the majority of the time.
Yeah, and it was really interesting seeing that happen, especially with the biker clubs. Like I know you left a little while after a while, and then I ended up running security with Tyser for a little bit.
Oh no shit, huh?
Yeah, and we had to orchestrate when someone died or bike week or any reason to have multiple clubs in there at one time. That was the most peaceful club we ever had. All the civilians not in clubs were just like, I'm not messing with anybody. And then all the clubs were behaving because they had some of their higher ups there, and they're like, don't fucking embarrass us by starting something that we didn't choose to start.
And over some bullshit, right?
Yeah. So
that was quite interesting. And whatever happened to Tyser?
Last I heard, he was still living with his parents, working as a equipment operator, doing somewhere. Haven't talked to him in a really long time.
Yeah.
I was. Do you remember South?
What's that?
Do you remember South?
South
With the scalp tattoos. Big white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a tow company in Colorado Springs.
Well, he was doing that. He was doing that shit before, wasn't he? The tow company.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been a tow guy for forever. And like a consummate tow operator. But he was trying to do a nonprofit through the bars to help get people home. But now, what he's doing now is like legitimate towing company that does insurance tows. Call-ins where I'm on the I worked for him for a while, and I was hooking up cars on the side of I-25 during rush hour and rescuing people up near Cripple Creek. And Tyser was supposed to come work with us for a while, but we lost track of him. Went radio silent. He goes radio silent time to time, but I'm sure he's still hitting the gym and super jacked, because that's that guy's jam right there. He's always in the gym. Always in the gym.
Yeah. No shit. I follow Justin on social media. He ended up like you and I.
Which Justin? Econaut?
Carter.
Yeah. You
follow him on social media?
I actually talked to him not too long ago. I was
shit.
Yeah, nice. I was the gold mine is a really funny story. The gold mine I was working at, I had to go through a lot of interviews to get on there. And third interview was on site. So I'm up there talking to a husband and wife, and we're just, bullshitting. And she's like, oh, my son is working ski rescue up in Red Cliff. I'm like, his name's not Justin, is it? They're Justin's parents, man.
No shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to see him. He's got a little boy.
I love to see him on his little snowmobile in the winter, just rocking out snowmobile.
Yeah. I'm playing. He's on my hit list as well. I'd like to talk to that dude, catch up with him. Yeah, you and him were on my hit list. So
yeah, Justin's awesome, man. We used to we used to go shooting all the time. We went out. My first date with Trish, my wife, was a shooting trip out east to the plains, and Justin, me, Trish, and then Nate was a DJ there. Nate Starr. His family had a lot of property out there, hundreds of acres. So we go out to their shooting spot, and I mean, there's 100 rifles and pistols sitting out there between everybody. And my really good friend Bob, who used to be in the FBI, and he was a naval officer. He's an older guy. He's probably in his 70s now. He gave us some experimental 12 gauge rounds to try out, and one of which was a Dragon's Breath.
Oh,
and we're sitting in like on the eastern plains where it's nothing but grass as far as the eye can see, like knee height. I'm like, guys, we can't shoot this here. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then the owners of the property were like, man, we've tried to like burn this stuff away with propane torches, like burn the stuff out of the ditch. This just will not burn. I'm like, okay, lit propane's one thing, but a chemical fire is completely different because that's like, it's I forget what's exactly in a dragon's, but it's like thermite or phosphorus. And so sure, Justin, fucking 200 acres later, fire, just like 200-acre fire. Trish is out there in her like goat furry Victoria's Secret go-go dancing boots, like trying to stomp a fire out, and we get 200 acres. Well, it mostly burns itself out, but we're going around the edges trying to, hit it with a piece of plywood. We get the fire out after like an hour and a half, and the fire department shows up, and they're like, well, we won't write you guys tickets since you got it out. It's like date one for me and Trish.
No shit. Well, so my experience, I've experimented out in Colorado with Dragon's Breath up in Gold Camp Road and all that. Mm-hmm. So in my apartment building that I lived in as a fourplex, and it was in the shitty part of town down by by Fort Carson. And when that's
where I'm at.
Are you? Where on? I was on Loomis Ave.
Oh, I'm right on Cheyenne Meadows.
Cheyenne Meadows.
So you remember the World Arena?
Yep.
I'm right near the World Arena.
Yeah. I was off of the B Street exit of Fort Carson.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So my the fourplex I lived in, when I first moved in, I was on the top floor, and multiple times, because I move in, I've been there like a month and a half. And again, not a very good part of town. Multiple times people are pounding on the door asking for like Lewis and shit. And I'm like, fucking Lewis don't live here,
Yeah.
And they're like, just open the door, dude, And I'm like, all right, I got to do something. And so I got a 12 gauge riot gun, pistol grip, pump. And it was so short, it only held 3 shells in the chamber. And I had rock salt, basically. A safety slug, and then the third one was Dragon's Breath. Because if it got to that point, we're all fucking going together, dude. So
it's very indiscriminate, and like you see, like in John Wick, I think the newest one, he's rocking like a semi-auto shotgun with Dragon's Breath, and I was like, oof, that it's really rough because everyone makes their own version of Dragon's Breath, and I've seen people shooting semi-auto, and it's hard because they weigh nothing, so they don't cycle the gun usually. But when that ejects, sometimes that Dragon's Breath is still ejecting. So if you're like bang, 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 you might get a little on yourself too. So,
and like you said, with chemicals, that's a little different.
Yeah, and so my rule is Dragon's Breath is out of a pump or like a break open shock. I don't.
Yeah, mine was pump action.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. And I also just don't shoot them anymore. They're very.
No, there's no
special application.
Yeah, I just had it because if we were still after each other after those 2 rounds, fuck it, dude. We're all going. Well,
and it's America, and it's cool, so you're free to have it.
Well, there's that too.
Why not?
And it looked cool, dude. I mean, it was like fucking 19 inches long. The gun was completely, from the fucking end of the grip to the tip of the barrel. I mean, it wasn't that big, dude.
That's treading some dangerous waters.
Well, here in Jersey, they legally. So I have a 20 gauge, and I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna get a pistol grip on it, do all my things to it. So the shop I go to, I go, hey man, what's the deal with shotguns here in Jersey? Well, they're home defense and yada yada yada. Okay, what can I get away with legally? And they said from the chamber to the tip of the barrel, it needs to be like 22 3/4 inches. Oof. Right? And then you got just a little bit with the pistol grip behind it, right? And it's a pump. It's pump. So I get on Mossberg's site, and I'm like, all right. And they said with Jersey, make sure if you do it, buy the parts and keep the receipt. Now you're legal because you didn't modify the gun. Like you didn't like shave the barrel off. You didn't shave it. You bought the parts that are supposed to be there, yada, 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 right? So I get on Mossberg's site, put in my model, and it's like short barrel, 22 3/4. I was like, ooh, add to cart. Perfect. I was like, I don't have to do any measurement. Boop.
Yeah, I think the federal rule is like 16. I think it's the same as a rifle. It's like 16 inches or something like that. but there's so many like convoluted little things you can do. Like, oh, now this is not a shotgun, and now this is any other weapon. Like when people do like a shorter barrel, and then they just have the pistol grip. I think the like Mossberg has a Shockwave out like that, and then Black Aces Tactical had one out that like for some reason technically wasn't a shotgun because of some small line of print on the ATF's rules, and they're like, oh, if I did like if it doesn't have this, then it's not technically a shotgun, and I can have it any length I want.
Oh,
just like some people, this one rifle company put out an AR-15, but they didn't have rifling in the barrel, so it's smooth bore, so the bullet's not twisting, and they have like a barrel that big on it, and technically it's not rifled, so it's not a rifle, so they can make it any length. So it's hard to follow that. For me, I really like full size weapons. I'm 6'4", 220 pounds, man. Yeah. So like in the Army, they always had me with the machine gun or the M14 or so I don't. And also, when you shorten that barrel, you just don't get the same ballistic results. Like you can't, if you have an AR-15 with a 20-inch barrel, I can shoot 700 yards. If I have an AR-15 with a 7.5-inch barrel, I'm shooting 100 yards. Like that's all it's going to do. So
yeah, well, I mean, my 20 gauge, that's just for somebody's kicking in the door, dude. That's all that is.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to have, and it's fun to go out in the woods with the guys, because same here in like Pennsylvania and stuff, got guys that have big pieces of property. And it's just fun to shoot, dude, because you're like, what the fuck are you going to do with that thing?
Well, it's always fun bringing something and you just take it out of the range.
And everybody's like, what is that? That's all that is for. Yeah. The AR, it was funny. I got the sights, I got it different, but I have one. And the guy goes, what's it sighted at? I go, 25 yards. He's like, 25 yards? The fuck? I go, after that, it's the neighbor's problem.
Well, actually, man, for AR-15s, like in the Army, the AR-15 is just a civilian version of the M16 or M4. Yeah. And we do our zeroing right at 25 yards.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what mine is. And the thing is, I was talking to a guy the other day, and he's like guns and kind of weary about him and stuff. And I said, you ever shoot a gun? He's like, no. I go, it's actually quite therapeutic. And he's like, what? And I go, just go wrap out 15, 20 rounds in a rifle. And you're going to go, man, that was pretty cool.
Well, it is very therapeutic, man. And there's certain things you can do to multiply that feeling. Like the targets. I'm a big fan of steel targets. I've been into long range shooting. So I got Trish into it too. She's good out to 1,200 yards with 2 of my rifles.
No shit.
Well, actually, nice. three of my rifles. And I got tons of videos where it's just her shooting. She's in the prone, pow, and we're waiting, ding. And so I still got to get her in at a mile.
Damn, dude, a mile.
I've got like 10, 11 people to get their 1 mile card.
No shit.
They got their 1 mile shots. We ended up losing access to that range, which seems to happen in Colorado a lot. But
development, everything's shrinking.
No, a lot of times it's other shooting groups that want to get on or buy the property, but they don't want anybody else on the property. The 2 owners will have a falling out, and then the owner that I had access to the range with, he's like, no, I'm not touching it anymore. Sorry, I'm trying to do something else. I'll call you when I got something else going, type thing. So, but yeah, long range has been, it's fun mag dumping pistols, and you want to stay up on your skills and carbine, assault rifle, what have you.
Sure.
But what I really like doing is the long range stuff now with 308 out to like 1,000, 1,200 on a good day. And then my 300 Win Mag, man, that thing just burns, dude. When you're hitting 1,500 yards to 1,750 a mile, that's a damn good feeling. I'll send you some videos after this of me shooting a mile, and it's like 8-9 seconds before, from
That's
the
super
bang
cool.
to where you hear that ting,
I had a good buddy out in Colorado. He is 300. He just was in love with that gun. Yeah, but mile long. Ooh, I never shot that far.
it
I did.
doesn't
Hey, I
seem
did
that
have an
far.
opportunity to shoot a 50 cal, dude.
What
I,
kind? Do you
I have
know?
no idea. It was just
Okay.
like, here, pull the trigger. I was like, you damn right, I'm gonna. That was
Those
pretty
are
cool.
really fun. That's a unicorn gun I still don't have because, well, you can get one for like 1,700, 2,500 bucks, but that's like one shot and you put it on the bolt and you put it in the chamber, and then you've got one. I'm looking at like a magazine fed one.
Yeah,
It's
of
like
course. Yeah,
eight grand,
I was just
12,
gonna say.
12 grand, 14 grand, depending
Yeah.
on. And it's like, man, I got two kids. I got cars that need work done on it. I've got a wife like that. Like,
Hell yeah.
and thank God I own a house to where, I'm keeping it. Like, I had a 69 Chevelle. I don't think you ever got to see it. I had a 69
Oh,
Chevelle SS. My dream. I bought it
oh,
for my 30th birthday, and I ended up
damn.
selling it to a buddy of mine in the Air Force so that I could afford the house that we're in. So I got rid of a lot of guns, my dream car, just to get us in this house. So
Yeah, I was when I moved out to Jersey, getting rid of my motorcycle. That was tough, dude. I love that bike. I don't know if you remember. I had it at comp
I do
with the
remember.
18-inch apes and shit. Oh, dude, that thing scared the hell out of me every time
Oh,
I rode it. It was amazing.
that's
But
next on my list because I can afford a $5,000 used Harley, but I can't afford like $60,000 1960s muscle car anymore.
well, that's
It's not in the
dude.
cards right now.
No, anything nowadays with American Muscle, man, get out your wallet because it's going to be. People know the value of it, or they jack up the value of it because people want it. And it's. I
Well,
love America. Obviously, I love American Muscle, but fuck,
what's
dude.
your car? What's your dream American muscle car?
Oh well, I don't know. I think it would fall under American Muscle. All right. So what I say is, if money wasn't issue, I think '68 Cadillac
Mm,
Eldorado,
hell yeah.
jet black, blood red interior with a white convertible top.
Some Rob Zombie stuff right there, man. That's
Dude,
that's awesome.
dude with a bench seat that could put 7 people across, and you could put my Mazda 3 in the trunk. Oh, dude. So I don't know. Does that classify? I guess that classified American Muscle.
Let's call it classic because if
Yeah.
I was gonna get a boat of a classic car like that, I think Lincoln Continental suicide doors lowered a little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
on.
There you go.
And I like resto mods. I don't need it to be factory, everything perfect factory.
Right.
I don't mind. Like my Chevelle, I blew the 350 in it, and I dropped the LS1 for my buddy's Camaro in it.
Oh, why would yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. It's like I
Everything
love.
bolts right up anyway. What the hell?
Yep, yep.
The other thing is an old 5-window Chevy pickup, right? With the bubble sides, the bubble
Oh,
fenders.
yeah.
But what I would like to do with that is have a um, modern chassis with modern brakes and like
Suspension and
suspension
yeah.
and like a nice, just clean running 350. Nothing. I don't need it all beefed up or anything like that. Just a nice 350, maybe a small cam in it.
Up
Dude.
at the Hoist House, we got this 1936. I want to say Chevy or Chrysler. I can't remember, but they pulled it out of the mountain. It used to do moonshine runs in the area.
Oh,
There's fucking bullet holes in this thing. It's rusted, like rusted out. It's a tetanus trap, but it's got character. And
oh
the,
yeah.
the,
Oh
the
yeah.
guy who was occupying the Hoist House before us, its caretaker, was this old Canadian dude, and I guess they pulled it out of the mountain, and that was his project car. They got a brand, a new-ish 350 Chevy in it. No transmission yet, but it fires up and it's fun to sit in. My buddy and I talk about finishing it up all the time, but there's ownership issues. We can't pay the guy. He's in Canada now, but it's just sitting there. But we love mountain machines, man. So my buddy Nick bought this 72 Volkswagen Beetle and is turning it into a freaking dune buggy. And it is gorgeous, dude. He's doing it like kind of murdered out. put new fenders on it. I forget what the length of travel on the suspension is. So
my God,
it's almost like a pre-runner, but he didn't want the 62 horsepower motor in it. So he does a lot of Facebook Marketplace stuff. So he wheeled and dealed and got the motor and wiring harness out of a 300ZX. So, I mean, he's pushing 300 horsepower in a freaking dune buggy. So when he lays on it, this thing's going to be doing wheelies all over the place.
So speaking of that, I was out in Colorado, had my Jeep, and we went to this gorge, and I can't remember. I was drinking and fucking cracked out most of the time. But what you do is you sat on top of this gorge with your beers and shit, and you watch people go through, and it was like extreme, right? This dude pulls up, pulling a trailer with an old CJ on it, right? He gets out, unstraps it, and he pushes it off by hand, and it rolls off the trailer. He puts the hood, on a Jeep, the hood will just flop over onto the windshield. He literally crawls into the engine compartment. Like, then you start looking because you're like, how the fuck do you fit in there, dude? Right? And then you see him going like this, pulling. And then you hear, brrr, and you're like, no fuck, dude, no fucking way. So now a crowd's forming, right? So you get over there. Dude had a 5-horse Briggs and Stratton in it.
Was it from what is that, tractor?
No, it was in a CJ.
No, like what is that out of?
Just like a lawnmower. He had a 5-horse Briggs and Stratton, dude. He built a custom transmission. It had 32 forward gears and 6 reverse gears. And he goes,
that seems a little excessive, but.
And he goes, I'm here to prove that horsepower is not what it is. It's about gear ratio and shit. And I was like, of course, I'm fucking barbecued. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty neat. And sure enough, dude, he crawled through there. And in the cab of the Jeep, you could see all the levers and shit. I don't know how he operated it, but yeah, if I didn't see it, I would have been like, no bullshit. Nobody fucking.
I just saw on Facebook the other day, this guy had like a 96 Ford Ranger, but he had like 2 Evinrude outboard motors. But I mean, the motors were above the hood. He didn't like alter anything. I think he put the drive shafts right where the props, came
No
off.
shit.
So there was like 3-4 feet of motor in front of the windshield, like double Evinrudes on his windshield. It was killing it. He might not have saw what he was doing, but he was doing good.
I was just gonna say, dude, how the hell? I would have liked to seen the transfer of power with that. Like, how did he?
I never saw him going over like 20 miles an hour, but it was going up things, and it was interesting.
Yeah,
not what I would have, not the way I would have picked, but it's one of those things where it's like, I'm glad that's on Facebook because that's interesting. You can do that. You can. Hey,
what would be your car, man? Dream car, money's not an option.
Oof. I mean, I grew up a Mustang, man. I had a 66 in high school. And then when I was in Germany on the Autobahn, I had a 07 GT California Special, which was just so much fun on the Autobahn.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, that 69 Chevelle, I don't know, maybe 69 Shelby body, resto modded out with something more modern under the hood, maybe a new 5.0 Coyote or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get into the rarer stuff. I love Challengers, Chargers,
right.
Javelins, like all the niche stuff that
Roadrunner and all that.
Yeah, those. I mean, I love it all, and I'm one of those guys that's not like stuck on Ford, Chevy, Dodge.
Nah, I give a fuck about that.
I respect the machine for what it is.
Yeah, if it gets my blood pumping, that's cool, dude. That's all I care about.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just love the 1964 to 69, everything. Like everything in that block is awesome. But I miss my Chevelle, man. I might have to go with another 69 or 70 Chevelle.
Well, that being 6'4" too, you probably fit nice in that, right?
Yeah, and with my Mohawk too. I used to have that 18-inch Mohawk, and Trish used to have my wife had a WRX STI. And I'm a quarter Japanese, and like I did not like foreign cars at that point in my life, and something was wrong with my Bronco. It was down, so I had to drive her little Subaru somewhere, and I had my Mohawk up, so I'm in there like this, and it's a silver Subaru, and I'm out on my street on Nevada. I was living downtown at that point, and I was waiting on Nevada to take a right, and then here comes the Sons of Silence. And I know a lot of the guys in that club, and they know me from working at Copperhead, and they see me and they're like this, and my buddy Hooligan's like, what is that? And I'm just like, oh my God. And like Trish like has pink Subaru logos, Hello Kitty shit all over this thing. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
That's, and here you are with this big Mohawk, and they're trying to act tough. That's amazing.
But on the other side, I remember I was driving down Nevada in my Chevelle, and just kind of in there so my hair fit, and just it was automatic, and so I was just cruising down Nevada. I forget what I was doing, and this girl pulls up and starts yelling at me. She's like, excuse me, I just gotta say you're the most badass motherfucker I've ever seen. I'm like, thanks.
That Mohawk was pretty cool though, dude. Was it a pain in the ass?
Yeah, it was, man. I'm probably gonna get cancer 3 times over between Iraq, working in the weed industry, and how much hairspray I put on that motherfucker.
Well, that and the gold mine too. You got to remember you're doing all that shit too, right?
Yeah, my days are numbered, but
that's all right. Have a good time doing it. That's what I say.
It's, just lately I've been getting into kind of like a little bit more personal health. Man, have you heard about this methylene blue stuff? Like I just started like seeing it pop up everywhere on social media.
Oh, I did. I saw something. I don't know anything about it. I was flipping through and I saw it, and I just kept through.
It's supposed to like support mitochondrial health within the cell or something. Like RFK Jr. is doing it, and everyone's posting videos of him doing it. I got a lot of friends that are on it that swear by it, and it's like, man, like I'm not on any medications right now. The VA wants me on like 12 different medications.
Oh, good for you, dude.
It turns me into a zombie.
Yeah.
I don't even like taking Tylenol or aspirin, but
well, about 4 months ago, I went 100% carnivore.
Oh, really?
Amazing.
Really?
Dude.
Do you do any other type of supplements on top of that?
The only thing I do is I use, what the hell is it called? I want to make sure I say it right. The type of salt.
Viagra?
The Celtic sea salt. Raw Celtic sea salt I use to season the meat with. And then I drink 3 liters of water a day. And one of the liters I put in electrolytes. Because a couple weeks in, I was like, man, my calves are cramping, and I got like on the back of my head, I'd get like a little lowbrow headache. So I do a little research, and they're like, you're low on electrolytes. Dude, I mixed one up, and like an hour later, I was like, oh my God, whoo! All right, here we go. And so I went 100%, not even a single variation for 3 months. And now I do it like 90%.
What kind of meats are you ingesting?
So we get it from a farmer. So we bought a quarter of a cow, then we bought an eighth of a cow, and then we bought just a bunch of ground beef. Ground beef is the staple.
Okay.
So I mix I'll take a pound of ground beef and mix in a quarter pound of sausage, sweet sausage, to mix it in. Make these patties, because I'm on the road. I drive truck. So I make these patties and 2 hard-boiled eggs. I come out of the gym in the morning. I have a hard-boiled egg. I eat a couple patties. And then I won't eat again until 1. And then it takes about half an hour for me to get home. And I'll eat the rest of that meat. So I'll eat about a pound on my way home. And you don't get sluggish. You don't feel bloated, right? I mean, you think you would eating a pound of fucking ground beef, right? But sleep like a babe. Oh, dude, sleep is amazing. And within 2 days, 0 inflammation.
Really?
Yep. Because my back surgery, since my back surgery has been inflamed. And I'm like, okay, I had fucking back surgery, dude. I mean, I can walk and do everything I'm doing physically. If it's a little inflamed once, I'm like you. I don't take Tylenol or nothing like that. But I'm like, if it's a little inflamed, great. I can live with that. Dude, 2 days in, gone. My knuckles, because of lifestyle back in the day, my knuckles were, I just like lived with it. I'm like, I guess this is what it is. Nah, dude, nothing now. My knees, elbows, nothing. Amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got just massive joint pain all over from
Dude, get rid of that processed
military
food.
fights. Yeah, that's the hard part, man. I was just getting on to my wife about enriched wheat products, and I forget I used to think enriched meant, oh, they've added vitamins or added something in there just to help me with vitamins or something like that. Well, started looking into it, and I forget the chemical, but it's something they spray on crops to help with pests. I can't remember if it's a pesticide or fungicide or whatever.
And that's the rich part.
And that's what enriched means. So I started telling Trish, I'm like, hey, when you're at the grocery store next, can you look for something that's not enriched? And she's like, well, I thought, it was vitamins. I'm like, no, like, look at this. This is not vitamins. This is, adding, all you got to tell a woman is like, it just gives you a gut. And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to start looking I'll start looking for that stuff, but you just got to be really careful about what poisons you, ingest in your life.
Dude, I haven't had a carb in 4 months.
That's nuts, man. When I was towing, it was intense, man. It was and South he is such a great tower. It was kind of like a little like boot camp learning from him. Like he had me back the tow truck up next to my car, my first or second day I was driving, and I just like gouged the shit out of my car. I'm like, what the fuck? Like he's like, oh, I bet you're not going to do that again. That's called tail whip. I'm like, can we have done this on like one of the cars, the trashy cars? He's like, well, you wouldn't have remembered it. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like
right.
That sounds exactly like him.
It was an enlightening experience working with him again. And dude, the pace was insane. I was just on my phone the whole time because it's all done on apps now. Like all the towing, you're not picking up the phone from dispatch. Dispatch, send you something on the app. You have something pick up, and you're like, yes, I accept. And it's so fast paced. There was no time to eat, and I was not making great money, so I was making sure the family, had a full fridge, and I couldn't stop to eat out anymore. There just wasn't money for it. There wasn't time for it, and so I just started doing tuna packets, like just straight tuna packets. And I lost like 70 pounds working that job. I went from like 275 to like 280 to like 220. Damn, right in there, dude. Fluctuating.
Look like a cancer patient.
Well, I'm like 220 now. So
are you? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I got a little bit lower than this, a little skinnier than you remember me because I was in decent shape back then. But I'm 41 now. I don't go to the gym. I don't have time. And I've got some weights at home, but there's just so much to do. Like I spend my time on the weekends, like up on the mountain. I'm hiking at 9,000 feet to go check out gold piles. I'm carrying like 80-pound steel targets. Like I want a target up there for when I go shoot. So I'll like, all right, either backpack it or sludge it up the freaking mountain and pound it in. And I got rebar, and then I'm sledgehammering rebar in. So I'm not in the best shape, but I'm no slouch either at this point. But
that's cool.
That weight loss was huge. And I attribute that to I pretty much ate tuna packets whenever I was hungry, and I'd get home so late. I'd be on call, so I couldn't drink because I could get a call at any minute to like go, rescue somebody on I-25 or something.
Yeah, so you can't be 4 beers in at that point.
No, I mean there are guys that do that. Not where I work, but there are guys that do that.
I know a bunch of those guys, and that's the thing. I'm on the road, and the diet was killing me. I drive a 20-foot basically rolling workshop. Everything's in the back, compressors, welders, everything's in the back. And it's like a box. So it's like you walk up in it and it's a workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And in Jersey City where I work, there ain't no way to park that fucking pig, And then I don't want to eat McDonald's and Burger King and all that. So I was like, I know that's garbage. So I was like, all right, I'll eat some beef jerky, just to get through the day. And because I can pull into a gas station. But then, you know what? That Snickers bar looks pretty good. And next thing I know, at the end of the week, I had 8 Snickers bars, and that shit adds up. And I called it death by 1,000 cuts. And with the diet I'm on, I don't know if I call it a diet, but just the way I eat now, and it's what you don't eat. It's not what you're eating; it's what you don't eat, because you don't eat processed food. You don't eat.
Well, and don't forget drink too. I mean, like
I don't drink. Yeah, and I don't drink. So there's
I'm talking about a can of Coke. Like it's got 80% of your daily suggested sugar in it, and it's high fructose corn syrup. It's just
well, that's my poison, dude.
Dude, my cardio surgeon was just like, dude, you drink energy drinks? I'm like, oh yeah, I like survive off of them. Like between being an irrigation mech or whatever, my job's, I don't, there's not a lot of sleep involved, and you're working a lot. And I lived off I was drinking the white monsters, the sugar-free ones, for a long time.
Yeah.
The drink that really messed me up though is in Iraq. We had wild tigers. Have you ever heard of those?
No.
Oh man, this beef jerky and wild tigers are the reason I survived Iraq. Well, it's an energy drink made in Jordan, and they used to put nicotine in it too. It's like 3 times the amount of taurine and caffeine as any other. So like we
because there's no regulation, right?
No, not in the Middle East. So we'd have a case of wild tigers in our Humvee. And we'd also be like smashing diet pills and shit to stay awake. Yeah. We were on patrol like 12 hours a day, and it was rough, man. It's hard to stay awake. So you got smoking a cigarette, got a dip in, drinking a wild tiger, on diet pills, and just trying to stay awake, looking for like there was a time where whenever I dozed off, we get hit with the RPG. RPG would get fired at our convoy, and it's just so you
now you got adrenaline.
Yeah, so now I'm not allowed to drink energy drinks. When I was working in Sturgis last year, I work at Glencoe. I don't know. Have you been to Sturgis before?
Yeah.
Glencoe's like the largest. I think it's one of the oldest campsites there. It is definitely the largest. And I talked to all the not locals, but the people that come to work at different bars, like the Hells Angels bar called the Dungeon. I was talking to one of the bartenders there. And she's like, oh, are you working here? I'm like, yeah, Glencoe. She's like, that's where I tell everyone to go if you want to see the real Sturgis. Like this 2024 stuff is all bullshit. Like if you want to see what Sturgis really is about, go to Glencoe, because everyone's naked. There's a road called Titty Alley where, I mean, the majority of people there that are naked, most people prefer not to see. That's not, but man, they got like shadow boxes, like a sheet up around like a PVC frame, and there's people fucking in it, and all you can see is their shadow. And like, dude, it's insane at Glencoe. I'm going back again this year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we stayed I've only been once, and I ended up on the TV show at Full Throttle.
What
was the name of that TV show? Full Throttle?
I don't remember the name of the TV show, but I was up there in 2016 visiting. Remember Brandon, the bar? When you were there, he was a bathroom guy. That was like the naked guy in the
Brandon.
bathroom.
Yeah, he was all shredded in the girls' bathroom.
Yeah, so he ended up being a bartender there, and then he's been bartending forever, and so he's the bar manager at Glencoe. So last year they needed bar backs, and he's like, "Hey man, I'd love to work with you again, dude. And honestly, the people that we've had are kind of shit. Do you want to come up and apply for this?" I was like, "Sure." And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We only had 4 bar backs for like 1,000 acres, and there's because there's a satellite bars. You got to run ice, beer, liquor, and all that stuff too. Yeah. And then you have the main bar where all the bands play, and it was fun. But our bar backs started dropping off like flies, and I'm 40 at the time, or 40. I was 41, and all these young kids were like, I'd cut somebody and be like, all right, man, you're opening the bar tomorrow. Like, go get some rest. Like, go have some beer, have some rest. It's like 11, 12 o'clock. You got to open the bar at 7.
Right.
And like I'd get off at 3 and the guy's just like 3 sheets to the wind. He's got an employee vehicle doing donuts. He crashes it in front of the owner and then almost gets in a fight with the owner. I'm like, I poured my beer out and like, I'll be there at 7 to open the bar, Brandon. So all the bar backs started dropping like flies, dude. So I was opening, closing, just taking care of as much as I could. And we did have one awesome guy named Mike, but unfortunately he won't be back here this year. But man, I'm counting tips one day, getting ready to like divvy out tips to the rest of the bar backs, drinking a monster, and I started having like my heart palpitations again, and I was like, woo, vision kind of like coning out like that, and just like getting dizzy. I'm like, oh shit. And Brandon walked by. I'm like, Brandon, can you go like put all this stuff in an envelope? I'm like, go put this in the safe, dude. I got to go to the ER. And thank God there's a VA emergency room like right across the highway from Glencoe.
And you didn't know about that? That you just found out?
Well, I did. I'm like, oh, look, there's a freaking VA right here. And so that was one of my reasons. Like, I'm just going to drive to the VA quick and drive right in the ER. And usually the VA's shit. Nothing against some of the employees or anything, but like the healthcare is horrible.
Yeah.
And not in Sturgis, dude, not the Sturgis VA. They're amazing. They got me in like no wait. I was strapped into an EKG. Taking blood. They're like, hey, you have no potassium. You have I forget magnesium, potassium. You have nothing in your blood.
Just dried out, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I was drinking like a case of water per shift. I mean, it was like 104 degrees up there in the summer.
I remember that.
I mean, it was rough. And so they hooked me up, and then I was back. Went back an hour later. I finished the tip out, and I was ready for my next shift. And
white monster in hand.
I was like, Brandon, don't tell anyone about this. I'm fine. I'm getting out of the hospital right now. He's like, dude, you're on speakerphone in the office right now. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, son of a bitch.
I mean, a buddy of mine was over there. I went over. Yeah, that's what I meant.
But this year, I'm bringing up a 5th wheel instead of staying in the small employee, like little cabins. And man, it's the 85th anniversary this year. So it should be a big one.
Godspeed for you, dude. But we stayed right across. There was a campground right across from Full Throttle. We could walk there, but obviously we were in no condition to walk. And we took the shuttle, but we pretty much spent each night at Full Throttle. I guess it burnt down, right?
It did. They rebuilt it. Yeah, it's totally revamped. And what year do you think was that? Pre 2016?
Yeah, it'd have to be.
Yeah. I watched Hell Yeah before Vinnie Paul died, the drummer. Yeah. At Full Throttle, and oh my God, like that place is amazing. And then every year they, after the rally's over, this rapper named Yellow Wolf. I'm not into the rap scene, but he was fun to watch for me not being into the rap scene. The owner of our establishment, Glencoe, took all the employees that were like still there that were helping clean the campsites and clean the bar. Oh my God. You thought Copperhead was bad. Like Sturgis after 2 weeks is insane. But he took us to like VIP at Full Throttle, like up on the sides elevated, man. That was Full Throttle's a really fun place.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, and I was real close to the stage acting a fool because, of course, everything's chemically induced. And like 2 weeks after we were up there, my buddy sends me a video. He's videoing his TV because he's watching the show. And he's like, that's fucking Walt. There I am, fucking right up front, dude, doing my thing. But no, Sturgis was a lot of fun. We rode up, though, from Colorado.
Oof. I mean, it's only 9 hours.
It's an easy ride because it's all nice highways.
I mean, it's easy ride compared to Florida. Like one of my buddies is going to come up this year in Barback, and he's talking about riding from Florida. I'm like, bro, get a fucking plane ticket. I'll come pick you up from Rapid City Airport, dude. Yeah. Like that's insane. But plane tickets are $500. I'm like, what do you think you're going to spend on gas and hotels on the way, dude? Like,
yeah, especially riding. My good buddy. He's just up here. He lives in Florida now. He retired, and he's living in Florida. And we're making a plan. I'm going to fly down to Atlanta area. He's going to ride up. I'll get a bike from like Eagle Rider, and then we're gonna go around the twisties like in Tennessee and stuff
That's
for a
cool.
couple of days. Yeah.
I'm just getting into riding, man. I'm not by no means an expert. I putt around on a dirt bike. I've been on a crotch rocket a few times. Never even been on a Harley. People are like, "Oh, what do you ride up in Sturgis?" I'm like, I don't really, man.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What are you here for?" I'm like, "The party, the money."
Make money.
Like, yeah. So,
Well, we rented a bike. I've been riding forever, and my wife, when her dad was alive, he lived in San Francisco, and her mom lives in San Diego. So one year we flew out. We got a convertible Camaro, went down the Pacific Coast Highway. You know, that was super cool. And then one year I got a bike. And we went down the highways, cold as hell, freezing my ass off. We end up in LA visiting some friends and we stay the night. We get up the next morning. We get on the 405. Got Kid Rock fucking pumping on the radio. We're kicked back. Big street glide, man. Just super nice bike. In the far right lane, just doing my thing, relaxing. Somebody merged, took us out, totaled the bike. Yeah. Nothing like getting hit 5 lanes of 405 traffic, dude.
damn.
That was crazy.
I was kind of impressed with the 405 when I was in the Bay Area. I was my friend Forrest and I were operating a hemp farm here in Colorado. We had like 18 acres, and when we finished processing it, we're gonna compress it all down to CBD oil during that huge CBD phase. So we flew out to California, San Francisco, in the Bay Area, to take a week-long class on how to run this machine. I mean, it looks like something out of Buck Rogers' Space, like levers and dials everywhere, and you pretty much have CO2 in a loop, and you super pressurize it and heat it, and it picks up CBD, and then you cool it and depressurize it, and it dumps, and blah, blah. Anyway, so we learn how to do this whole thing. We get a 26-foot Ryder truck and put this thing in the back of it, and we leave the Bay Area at rush hour. And I'm like, dude,
with a 26-foot truck.
I was like, this is going to be insane, man. Dude, it was the easiest drive I've ever had in like a bigger vehicle. Everyone was letting us in. Everybody's cool. California people drive fast, but like they're halfway courteous compared to Colorado. We are fucking assholes here. We have the worst roads in the country and the worst drivers in the country.
You don't have the worst roads. I'm in Jersey. But Jersey is the same way as what you're describing California is. Everybody's fucking crazy when you're driving. But when everybody's on the same level of crazy, it works.
I mean, dude, just like 3 weeks ago, I had a guy right in front of my house. I was taking my son to school. I keep getting road rage incidents happening to me. And one was a soldier from Fort Carson that was just didn't like that I zipper merged legally in front of him at the end of a lane.
Favorite term, zipper.
Yeah, and then he like gets in front of me, slams on the brakes, and I go around him, and then he tries to go around me on the shoulder and loses control and T-bones into the van in front of me and says I hit him, and I'm like, dude, get the cops out here. Like, I don't have any damage to my vehicle, dude. And so like a week after, the cops and insurance were like, yeah, you didn't hit him. He's full of shit. In much nicer words. I was pulling up to take my son to school again. And, I take a ride out of my complex. No one was coming. This guy was driving some dropped Subaru Paul Walker style. Didn't like how fast people were going in his turn lane. So he like peels out way right. And I was in front of him because he was not in his, his turn lane. And so he pulls up next to me and is trying to get me to fight him, and then keeps doing like back and forth next to me. And I'm like, I lock and load my pistol because my son's in the car, and I will sacrifice the rest of my life for my kids. And I was like, I don't care if I have to dump this guy. If he pulls a gun, like I'm gonna dump this guy. And so, but then I'm like, I'm not fighting you. My kid's in the car. And so while we were next to a junior high, just like a quarter mile up the street from me, he pulls in like across both lanes of traffic and stops. And I'm like, man, if my son was in the car, I'd
Boom.
just like, fucking thanks for the new truck, you dead asshole. But
Yeah.
dude, I got off into the neighborhood off to the left and right, left, right, left. I'm like, dude,
Oh yeah.
nothing is worth me endangering my kid's life over some road rage shit. And
Yep.
so I was like, dude, if I was by myself, yeah, maybe. But no, I got the hell out of there. And then, man, a week later, it was eating me alive. I'm like, dude, I am such a fucking pussy. Like I should have done something more. Like that guy's out there doing it to other people. A week later, on this Facebook group I'm part of called 719 Can't Drive. It's all people posting videos and shit about like shitty drivers and stuff and accidents, things to stay away from.
Right.
Somebody posted from KRDO 13 news an article about this guy who chased this couple into a parking lot and started threatening him with a fucking gun because of a road rage incident. They got his plates and make and model and took off before anything happened. Police did a high risk stop on the car, and yeah, the guy had a gun. It was the same fucking guy. So a week later, he did it to somebody else, but they stopped. He went in there and started threatening with the gun. Now he's wrapped up. He's done. But
yeah, but now you're thinking, man, if I did something, I could have prevented that dude from doing that to those people, right?
Nobody got hurt. He's not hurt. Listen, man, I was in the infantry. I've done some shit. I would prefer to live the rest of my life without hurting a single human being again. I would really, really prefer that, mostly for my mental condition.
Yeah, of course.
If I got to for my kids or family, I'll do it in a heartbeat. But I really prefer not to, just for my mental condition. And court sucks, dude. I'm never going. Like I'd never want to go to court again.
I don't want to do that again either. Dude.
I was
not a fan.
I was on probation for 2 years, man. Lost my gun rights for 2 years and had to check in with probation officers because I took an Uber ride home because I was trying to be responsible. I was at a barbecue with another former employee of Copperhead Road. I don't think he was your time frame, but he was a Marine. And so he had a couple Marines there. I'm an Army guy. There's another couple Army guys there. We were drinking. Families were there. We were fine. We're playing beer pong, doing shots and stuff. But I got drunk, and my wife wanted to leave with my newer born son. And I'm like, okay, well, take him home, and my daughter and I will get an Uber home because she's still playing with all the other kids and stuff, and doesn't want to go home.
She's like 10 or 11 at that time, right?
Yeah, she was 9 or 10.
Yeah,
and so we get an Uber and start heading home, and it's like north side of town. I live on the south side of town, so it was like a 25-minute drive or so. And this guy is just like finds out my daughter rode horses because he's making conversation, but he starts asking stuff like, well, what kind of boots do you wear? How high up do they go? Do you wear tight fitting pants or loose fitting pants? Like nothing like, overtly sexual, but it was just really fucking weird. And I was like, hey man, you got to change subject. And he just was like, oh, whatever. And then it started like, he exited the interstate, like not where he should have exited. Right. And I was like, oh fuck, red flag, dude. Like I'm fucking drunk. And now
you're kind of sober because your adrenaline just kind of pinged you, right?
Yeah. So, and I don't do it anymore, but when I used to drink, I had a small pistol on me. And so, I was kind of like, oh fuck, dude, all it's going to take is this guy to turn around and pop me with, whatever gun he's got. And he's got my daughter. And, and it was just the way the conversation was leaning. And you know what? Part of it's my fault because I was drinking. If I did this sober, I would not have been on probation at all, but I was drinking. So I was wrong. And, the guy saw my pistol, like, me kind of like back like this. He got back on the interstate and got us home. And I got my daughter out of the car. And as soon as she was out of the car, I fucking grab him because I'm in the back seat. I'm like, you motherfucker, you cannot talk to kids like that. Blah, blah. What the fuck were you trying to pull when you were?
And you have a gun on you.
Yeah, and he said I had it in his. I pled guilty to it, so I guess I got to say I did it. But had a Glock in his face and shit, and there was no video, nothing. But I was looking at like felony menacing, and I got a really good lawyer, and she got it down to a misdemeanor. So I was on probation for a couple of years.
I'm surprised you got your gun. I'm surprised you got your license back, Carrie.
Well, I don't have a carry license. It was gun rights. So
Oh, okay.
your gun rights are different. So
Yeah.
it was really it was a 1 day difference between me never having guns again and having guns. It's in Colorado. It's if you are up for a charge where the sentence could be over 100 days, even if it's a misdemeanor, you do not get your gun rights anymore. My sentence was exactly, you could do 100 days in jail, but over 100 days in jail,
All
you
done.
lose your gun rights. So it was like 1 day difference of jail time,
Right.
expected jail time for the charge. So, and like I said, man, it was my fault for drinking and being in that state. I might have made some slightly different judgments, and maybe the guy wouldn't have like exited on, halfway through town. He maybe wouldn't have tried to been doing weird shit if I was like sober. So
Yeah, because he's probably thinking that he could take advantage of the whole situation with you being drunk,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
yeah, I
So,
can
but
see that.
my daughter says it's bullshit. She swears I never pulled a gun on the guy, and from what I remember, I didn't. But I did grab the guy and fucking scream at him, so
Oh,
hurt his feelings a little bit. And but that's that, and that's in the past. And I don't drink when I'm out anymore. I was just at this really awesome party. One of my good friends' dads passed recently that I used to work for in the cannabis industry, and he moved into his house, and they're having a housewarming party. And man, great people, great party. It was. I had my son and my daughter was with her mom, but my wife and son were there, and it is definitely a drinking culture. And our circle of friends and people, they had a live bluegrass band there, and lots of weed smoking and stuff is legal in Colorado. It was great. But people started slamming shots, and I'm usually the guy. It's like, where's the shots at? And I was like, dude, I don't. They're offering me some. I'm like, I don't drink liquor in public anymore, man. Like,
good for you, dude.
I'll down some beers, man. But I need to be in control of whatever situation this is, and I can't have my BAC crazy. I can't be stumbling around. I can't be embarrassing my family anymore because I used to do that, and so now I ended up carrying my buddy to bed, as in usual party tradition. And I mean, there's kids everywhere. There's 80-year-olds there and everything in between. So this isn't just like a college party. And he was slamming shots with it was his party. He was slamming shots with everybody, but he wasn't driving nowhere, so who cares? And I ended up carrying him to bed. And my wife is like, party's over. You've made a few political comments, and like that is like and like we were not in a place, we were outnumbered by, I won't say who or what, but we were like outnumbered by the opposition. And she's like, dude, Forrest, you just carried Forrest to bed and you're making political comments. It's time to
go.
And I was like, all right, let's go. You're driving. Let's go, babe.
Good looking out, baby.
Yeah.
Tom, man, we got to shut this down, but hour and a half, dude.
Nice, man. Dude, I've had fun. I haven't talked to you in forever. And
I know it. That's why I wanted to get a hold of you. I just see you're doing well and having the family. And, I knew that we could swap some old stories and how we got to where we are now. I'm in the same boat, dude. I got our little son. I got a kick-ass wife. I love what I do for work. This project is a lot of fun. We own our own home. We bought a home right on the lake. Nice place. Got, the son. We were out in the yard playing wiffle ball. I'm pitching him wiffle balls and he's cracking them across the yard at 4 years old.
Dude, it's crazy how similar or almost pseudo identical like our lives are right now.
That's what I'm saying. And then, seeing what we were doing, back in the day, and it hit me. And then to go back to Javi real quick, it hit me hard because Rome called me because Javi didn't. They had to like force him to go to the hospital. He was all yellow, and they're like, yeah, and he's like, I'm not going, and they had to have like an intervention and almost drag him physically to the hospital.
Damn, dude. Well, Trish and I are gonna have to get up. I mean, we're an hour out of Denver, so I'll give Roman a call and or message and see what else is going on, man. See if he wants visitors or.
Yeah, I send them text messages a couple times a week, some old jokes and some memes and shit like that. Just checking in on them, try to keep his spirits up. I mean, that's got to drag on you being in the hospital like that. And, at first probably was showered with love and visitors and that kind of fades. People got to get on with their lives. They can't spend that much time there. And then he just last night, he texted me and said they moved him out of the hospital. So give you a heads up on that. If you know Rome, if you got Rome's number, he'll give you the whole.
I don't, but I'll hit him up on social media on Messenger or something. And we don't go out and do anything anymore. Like we're homebodies now, saving money, making sure the mortgage gets paid, making sure the kids are taken care of.
Yep.
Just keeping the vehicles up so we can get everybody to school, and then we're praying for this gold reclamation thing to really hit. So
that's awesome, dude. I like it, man. It sounds, seeing you look good, dude, and to see you compared to what the last time I saw you in person.
I was probably passed out pissing myself, maybe.
I saw you on one of the old videos. You were on stage with what's his name singing.
Oh yeah, playing music.
Yeah. I can't remember his name.
Justin.
That's
yeah.
Justin.
Yeah, we used to play on the bar at the end every night, and then I'm still play a lot of stuff. I'm expanding music, so
that's awesome.
Buying instruments, playing whatever I can. So
now, is there? I know you're doing some veteran stuff. Is there anything you can direct people to go to help out?
Not really. We don't have any websites or anything. My grandfather's in a memory care nursing home because my grandmother had dementia. He doesn't. So he's one of the really cognizant people there. He's a Vietnam vet. He spent 31 years in the military, was almost sergeant major of the army, was in Japan right after the war during the occupation, was in Korea, was in Vietnam. My dad was in his unit. That's where he met my mom, my grandpa's daughter. So it's a huge military thing. I'm 6th generation Army on my dad's side. On my grandpa's side, it skips a few generations, but we're a big military family. And my grandpa's my last grandparent I have left. And he wanted to start a veterans group out of all the people at his nursing home. And so we did. We've had 5 or 6 meetings now, and we just did an awesome barbecue yesterday. Pre-cooked a bunch of ribs and just went over there, and it was our best meeting yet. Everyone had to kind of huddle in the shade because they didn't have the shade tarp out, but that just forced everyone to be really.
I was just going to say that's not a bad thing, man.
No,
right?
All that assholes that were in the group. Because, dude, I'm an asshole now. I'm old compared to when I was 25.
Oh, yeah. You're part of the asshole club. Dude.
Yeah, but so these guys, in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, their health conditions, mental conditions, and their veterans. Some of them are just straight assholes. And so I do interviews for the newsletter. I interview one person a month and kind of type their life story out and put it in the newsletter. We do events. We go to air museums, butterfly pavilion in Denver, picnic lunches in a park. Like I said,
just to get them out a little bit.
And man, getting out of the military, you miss that cohesive unit, the camaraderie and stuff. So these people getting back together it's really good for a lot of them. It's telling their stories. But this last time, man, it went so well, and we didn't know if anyone was going to show up. And I'm like, dude, I cooked 2 racks of ribs. We got 36 hamburgers and 36 hot dogs, and we've been pre-cooking stuff sides for days. And I'm like, dude, we're gonna have so much wasted food, but we almost had none. We had employees coming to eat. People that weren't even veterans were coming out, and everyone had a blast. And like I was saying, the guys that were the assholes completely opened up and had such a blast. And it was so cool seeing someone I've known for 3 months that were just old crotchety, fuck you. Hey man, these ribs are awesome. You got to get me the recipe. I'm like, oh yeah, Jim, when are you going to be cooking ribs in a memory care unit? But yeah, I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you for,
Hey dude, you better write that down because he ain't going to remember.
Right. So no, it's really good. We don't have anything up yet. It's a very small group. I'm just helping my grandpa and the veterans out in the nursing home kind of, feel appreciated, especially the guys coming back from Vietnam that never got a thank you. just making their golden years. Some of them might be their last month on Earth. Some of them might have a few years left, but we're just trying to make sure they feel appreciated. They can kind of get back to their military roots.
And that camaraderie, dude. That's just
and that feeling, man. And then it may be very small, but I've known so many elderly people during COVID that passed away because they were in isolation. They couldn't see their families, and they just died. Mm-hmm. And so one of the big things is I'm trying to give my grandpa and the other veterans something to look forward to next month. Just, hey, there's one more meeting. One more meeting. Hey,
I'll see you next month. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to have some fun. We're going to do this shit this time. Oh, you didn't like that? Fine. We're going to shit can that, and we're going to go do something else, and we're going to have a fun time doing it. So we'll see you next month, guys.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. I did a lot of volunteering with a veteran organization called Play for Your Freedom. And it was like sporting stuff. So we played football, volleyball, whatever their physical capability was.
Yeah.
And that was the goal as well. Hey, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah, I can't wait. That's exactly what I want to hear.
Well, like you're talking about vets like our generation. Vets.
Yeah, be like guys like you and a little older and a little younger.
It's hard, man. Like I lose a friend or two to suicide every year from my age group of veterans that just, one, either they drink themselves to death or they pull a trigger or one thing or another. So I can see how, both older people trying to hang on because they're declining in health. Like, hey, just hang on, because your mental state's huge on that. But then, of course, guys like our age, where it's like, I've been there too, man, and I'm never going to do it because I got a family. I love my family, but before I had a family, dude, I was almost there every single night. So
I had a guy on, Steven, and he does. He's got a coffee company and an honor guard, and all the proceeds go to training the programs for companion dogs. So, vets have a trained companion dog, that can, not just a dog from the pound, So he's a real fun guy, man. He was a lot of fun to talk to. He was in the Marines. He got kicked out of the Marines for being too crazy.
Yeah, it happens. I was almost kicked out of the Army multiple times for that. So
He's like, you train us to go fucking crazy, and then I go crazy, and you're like, whoa, hey, bro.
That's I was an amazing soldier in Iraq, deployed. I was awesome. But in the rear in garrison, I was a shit show because I was stationed in Germany. You taught us how to brainwashed us to kill people with the cadences and everything to think it's cool. And oh, cool. I go drinking with my friend and this group of Turks, whips knives out. You want me not to fight them? And
that's what he was. Yeah, that's what he was talking about too. He's like, you train me to do all this, and you break me down and build me back up as this, and then you say, no, you can't do that. What?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I got out. But our veterans group is really small. We got a lot of local volunteers. My friends, my mom's friends that come in and help, like Nick, Dana, and Mike came. Mike's also a veteran. He was officer in the field artillery for 20 years, and we just come and help. And it's not big enough to where we don't do enough to where we need people donating or anything like that. We just go spend time with people and try to get them out a little bit. A lot of my friends are doing stuff like Sixtos is really into hunting, so he has hunting groups. He has people come in from all over the country, and they go on veteran hunts. My buddy Leninger does fly fishing up in Oregon, so that he has a bunch of vets go up and do fly fishing. And dude, for veterans, if anybody ever asks, fly fishing is one of the most therapeutic things you can do to help with PTSD and just stress from anything, any walk of life, man. Fly fishing, I'm not a consummate fly fisherman, but I really do enjoy it, and it puts me at peace.
I mean, that's just to think about it off the top of my head, that's a combination of where you are, first of all, right? Your environment, it's peaceful to begin with. And then the cadence of that. I imagine there's, right? That's what,
you just got running water by you the whole time. You feel the water. You're seeing ducks and moose.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're in that environment. Oh, amazing.
It's great. So,
but we're going to shut this down, Tom, man. It was so much fun talking with you.
You too, Walt.
Just hang tight, all right?
Sounds good.
Thanks, everybody. Man, it was a good time catching up with an old buddy Tom there, but we've been staying connected since this has been recorded, which is cool about the platform here. Down in the link is Tom's Instagram. Connect with him there. I bet you would love to shoot the shit with you. But I'm going to get you out of here because I know you got shit to do. But don't forget, Livery She, High Speed Daddy, my website. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, man? Get out of here. Till next time, be Raw Nation. Keep kicking ass.
You out there? You listening?